Keep your stance straight, Princess. Jurian gives me the warning, but too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defences and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. Oh, that's right. Not against Cloud, and suddenly you're getting cocky, are you? I got you. Again. Again, yes. For the last few days, I've been practicing with Jurian and Garland because Cloud still hasn't come out of his room. The knights offered to train me, and right now they are teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Cloud did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Cloud. He made me so angry that one day that I could not even properly give him my gift. Yet I still feel sad that he is not teaching me himself. Come on, Princess, focus. I jolt out of my reverie and nodded Jurian. Okay, come on then. I'm gonna beat you silly with my sword. I'm not. I'm ready for myself for her next strike and once again get tapped, this time on the hip. Hey, look, you don't need those buttocks anyway, it's fine. When you're fighting. See? He hits you in the buttocks, you no longer have a bum, but he no longer has a head. It's a fair trade-off. What's that, a leg? No, never heard of it. Garland takes over after Jurian, and then we do the rounds, where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They are both good at teaching, but it does not feel the same without Cloud's instruction. His lessons seemed less like they were out of a book. Don't worry, Princess, it always starts out slow. Lan was just as slow at training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. He only has one personality type, it's great. He turns red at literally the slightest thing being said. I love characters like that! Sorry. Just, you know, embarrassing moments. Turning red, deep red. Fuck it, at that point he may as well just paint his cheeks red if he's gonna turn red at every single possible sodding moment. Jurian, that nickname, please stop saying it, it's awful. But you're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him and then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap it up for the night. I think I'm gonna stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jurian seems unconvinced, but eventually she nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, Princess. This is an awful idea. Do you not remember the last time this shit happened? I watch the two knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurian's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however. I see a glimmer of colour in the forest, and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. You can tell it's nothing, Davette, because the music is still calming. If the music were uppity and weird, then maybe we'd be in danger, but it's probably Cloud. What was that? I glance around at my surroundings and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. This all feels familiar. Is this Cloud? Well, Princess, give me a second and I'll tell you. There we go. I'm pretty sure I recognise Cloud's hand, but because I know it's him, I also know what he'd want me to do. I duck away from his hand and turn quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck, and for a few stunned moments I think I've won. Even Cloud looks surprised. It's really him! Yes, I know. I'm a genius. But then Cloud's hands have moved, and he has one hand over my wrist and the other over my sword. Good, David, you realised you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. There we go. We got the right choice indicator. We did a thing. Cloud. Cloud removes his hand, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, David. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Cloud holds out the rose pendant that I got for him. I feel my cheeks flush. Why is everyone's cheeks going red? You know, every time you're embarrassed, your cheeks don't always go red, right? You're aware this is a thing. You accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when well, I came to return it. Return it? Yes, you left it in my room, so I only thought it appropriate to bring it back to you. Does he really think I left it there on accident? No, probably not. He's not dumb. Why would I leave it in your room on accident? On accident? Surely they mean by accident, don't they? Unless this is some weird, old, decadent English. What? I bought it for you and I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely and... Cloud's eyes widen, the surprise clear on his face. David, you bought this for me? It's a rose pendant. Yes, of course I bought it for you. You have a rose tattoo. I didn't buy it for a bloke with a carnation, did I? Why does he look so shocked? Cloud looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything you've done for me. David, this is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers as he stares at the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward and my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. Oh, fuck off with your fucking turning fucking cheeks red again. For a minute, I thought that was going to have a third piece. I was like, wait, hang on, what? No, surely not. You really are a good person, David. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? I look up at him and notice that Cloud's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. I feel like there is so much that I want from Cloud, but I do not want to ask for something that might make him sad. I don't know, both of those things could make him sad. You asking him to smile could remind him that he is sad and not smiling to begin with. You asking him for a hug could realise that he has become weak whilst fancying it. I don't fucking know. Smile for me, monkey boy. Dance, dance. Cloud looks at me, his expression puzzled. He chuckles softly. But I am still smiling. No, I want a real smile, one that isn't so sad. You saw right through me. We have been partners for long enough. How about this one? He smiles a little awkwardly, and the quirk of his lips looks more embarrassed than bright. I raise an eyebrow in confusion. No need for that look, darling. I do appreciate your worry for me. But Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric on his shirt. Okay, yeah, we didn't get a good choice there, like, at all. This time we'll ask him for a hug. Huh? Dad looks at me in surprise. He thinks I'm being foolish for making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. But before I can say anything else, Cloud takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me towards him, and in those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me and his fingers clasped gently at my back. I feel so strange. My heart is racing and my knees feel weak. Something like this? There we go. That's the right choice indicator. He speaks right into my ear. It is a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Cloud makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All the warmness that was pressed against me 1 moment ago is gone. Why do I get a feeling that his curse is when he falls in love with someone or whether he likes someone? He becomes like more ill or more dangerous or something, so the reason he's been feeling ill recently is because he likes us. Yeah, we know this bit. Cloud has a pained expression in his eyes, only making me more anxious. Not now. Cloud, are you okay? What's wrong? David, don't worry about it. I'm just having a slight heart attack in the middle of a woods with no one around. Surely there's no reason to be worried. He lowers his hand with a pained smile slowly fading from his face. This only does little to reassure me. Was it my fault you were locked in your room for so long? He looks so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he feel bitter? But it's not for you to worry about, darling. For now, we should head back. It's late and you need rest. I just got back from patrol, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, sweet David, you've already done enough for me, like slowly killing me. He clutches the rose locket in his chest and sighs out with a little gentle smile. This smile feels real to me. Really? It looks mischievous as hell from here. This is a beautiful gift, and I will treasure it always. Thank you, David. Now, shall we head back? I nod at him, and we silently walk back to the march-in. Surely him falling truly in love with someone is what he should be doing to break his curse, not just platonic see-through plastic love. Sort of puts my theory to shame, doesn't it? When we make it back to the tavern, I feel tired, but also lighter than I have for weeks. Cloud wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. Sure, I am walking around town to do some errands with Cloud. It has been a while since we have done this. It's good to know that we're back to normal, as if nothing weird had happened. Chapter 10, I feel, is going to be a big climax. Though we are here to run errands, there is also something else that drew me into town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the march-in and told us of an announcement the king was making today. Apparently, the announcement has been posted for at least a week's time, but Waltz had only caught on to it after hearing about from the crowds after one of his puppet shows. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel that I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. I can see more people milling about than usual, which means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. I have a bad feeling about this. It is not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden, and with everything else that's happened to me, I feel on edge. David, you made these bags sound a lot lighter than they'd actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get valuable experience out of carrying bags. Why is she carrying bags? I'm terrified. God, she truly must at least vaguely like us if she's willing to, not make us her lackey this whole time. Seeing Cloud complain is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. What does that make me when you made me carry all these bags before? A lackey. I just pointed this out to you, David. An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the march-in, you know. Then the thought strikes me. What do you even do at the march-in? He makes rounds. Cloud looks surprised at my question, but then he quickly smiles at me. He does rounds. He's done it before. He sweeps the rooftops, killing many a person. Alright, I'm being optimistic for some of this, but you get my point. I train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. That's bollocks. I start laughing, and Cloud face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. No, we wouldn't do that, only vaguely. I wonder. We finish up the rest of our errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Cloud leaves briefly and then returns with a slice of cake for both of us to share as a snack. Why is it always cake? Oh, man. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling. Anything. Why do you not enjoy dressing as a woman? Surely the answer to that should be fairly obvious. I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you've had to wear a dress for so long, you'd get used to it, indeed. I have another question, and what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about a woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about. He suddenly goes silent and lowers his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy, and I feel my heart lurch. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. Look, it had to be brought up eventually, okay? To my surprise, Cloud continues talking. Shortly after I came to Angiel, there was a woman that I met whose smile was as radiant as sunshine. She was beautiful, and when she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Yes. Cloud watches me quietly as if he is measuring my expression. Eventually, he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed, and I thought we were truly in love, and then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pained. Well, some things happened, and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She was drawn to me just as any other woman is. Wait, what? Hang on. Let's reel it in quickly here. You had the curse with that woman in Angiel. It wasn't afterwards. Okay, now I'm confused. What? She seemed so genuine in comparison to the other women, but in the end, it didn't even matter. It didn't say that. Cloud trails off and lets an exasperated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone who has honestly loved me back. So then that person he loved was that one woman. Cloud looks at me for a few moments, but he does not speak. David, do you mind if I ask you a question? If I say no, are you going to ask it anyway? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. Not like that! You're not about to fuck your mum, are you? He's asking whether you've loved someone outside of a family. Jesus, someone you're going to get pregnant with. You have sex as much as you want with your mum. It's never going to happen. I was referring to a romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? What does that love feel like? Jesus. Ice cold heart. Allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me and it is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about small things, about offending this other person in some way. You wonder if they'll like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for dinner. Wait, hang on. Treat, dinner, sandwich. That's got to be a fancy-ass sandwich if you don't prefer a casserole over that. You begin to find beauty in all the things they do. Their presence makes you feel complete in a way you had never thought of before. You try to imagine life without that person and find that you cannot. To even consider such a thing is painful so much that it feels like it might break your heart. Cloud continues talking, but my mind is already whirling. Though he phrases things in a way that still feels unnecessarily dramatic, I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are the things I feel when I am with him. Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves and both of us turn. Oh, well, that was very short-lived, wasn't it? Okay, it's happy music. Is it happy music? That's not happy music. That's not happy music. The king's dead. I can see a procession of knights along with the king on his horse. He normally rides into town like this, but today he's not smiling and there are too many knights riding with him. And is that Sir Alcaster? Let us go and find a place to stand and watch, as you wish. Cloud walks with me into the crowd, gathering around the king, and we find a spot to spectate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. My beloved citizens of Angiel, I've come before you today to make an important announcement. Ever since I was given this crown, I have sworn... He's not giving his crown to Alcaster, is he? I've sworn to live my life for the people and to rule in all fairness so that our kingdom can enjoy great peace. The crowd breaks into applause. I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there is sadness in his eyes, though he is smiling. Then I notice Sir Alcaster appears to be hiding a smile. He is not hiding a smile. That motherfucker is smug as hell. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes on for long minutes, and after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals he set, and finally, his love for the people. The audience around us claps and cheers, but Cloud and I are still silent. Something is not right, I nod in response. To this day I keep this promise. I would never break this oath, for it is the foundation on which I rule. The audience claps again, but I am silent, watching the king intently. But now... murder! Unfortunately, the unwelcome news that I bring you today gives me reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I have fallen terminally ill. The king's proclamation is met with shocked and angry chattering from the audience. I cannot hear that it is being said over the cacophony of voices, but I know that the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He is lying. I can tell by the firm set of his jaw and the way his eyes flicker across the crowd quicker than they ought to. The king has lied to me so many times before this, and I can recognize when he does. I know that this is unfortunate news, must come as a shock, but this is an illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, he trails off for a few moments, and I think I see something in his eyes that hints at urgency, but I'm not sure why. Crown Princess Emma Lane is unmarried and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. It's Sir Alcaster. Come on, let's just get it rid. Let's get this over with. We know where this is going. Another lie. Emma Lane could rule just fine with the help of Sir Mathros and the others. And with much thought, I have come to the conclusion that our kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the witches, is best put in the capable hands of Commander of the Order of Caldera, Sir Alcaster. What? Who would have thought? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outburst a testament to their confusion. While I will be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I cannot be, in all good grace, continue to wear this crown when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in the recent months, and Sir Alcaster is best suited to deal with these conflicts. The fairy tale curse runs rampant these days, and there have been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murmuring continues, except now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. It's not, it's bollocks! I do not miss the reluctance in the king's next words. Sir Alcaster has also suggested a number of remedies to our laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. Well, God, hang on. From now on, you will all be working for free in trade for food and barter. But you're all also knights, so get training. I believe Sir Alcaster can better rule this country in these turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty you have shown me. That bastard! Cloud has a foul expression on his face, and his words feel heavy even in a low whisper. I know the king, he takes every duty upon himself, and he would never hand his crown back to someone else. Once Sir Alcaster comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. He could say whatever, and he would still be unpopular at this point. If we're being honest, he could say, you know what, everyone gets 4 free donuts every day, and he would still be unliked at this point.